Okay, so what would you do if, let's just say, someone is walking and then from behind someone intends to attack them and they attack them with a shock, it shocks them, they don't know what's happening.
The question should be, how do you deal with a surprise attack when you're distracted? Well, in an ideal world, don't get distracted. Don't have your phone out. Don't do those stupid things. But what's going to happen is you need to be able to orientate yourself to the attack straight away. And it is a psychological issue, it's not a physical issue. So the surprise is one element, but the recovery is the main thing you always want to try to focus on. People will either punch you or surprise you because you were the sucker who was standing there on their phone and didn't pay attention to someone coming in and going bang, striking you straight away. But let's just say that happens. If I am being hit from behind, bang, and I'm caught up in guard and I'm in position, I'm trying to regain my senses. So that is, as I'm going, one, regain my senses and then get my hands up. I have to get my hands up. And this is the reason why I'm not carrying things. I'm dropping them and I'm getting my hands up to protect myself. One of the ideas I like to use quite often when I'm coaching people and I'm teaching them to defend themselves, okay, is definitely a swinging idea, to swing the arm up. I know it seems really weird because what you're doing, we need to change positions just a little bit. Okay, is what I'm doing, bang, I'm getting caught, is getting my hands up. Because what I'm doing is I'm swinging my hands and I'm getting them into a ready position. I'm putting them into the space, and the space always has to be bang to be able to close the distance and get in. So sometimes when I'm training in a dazed state, and believe it or not, you should train your self-defense in a dazed state, what you have to do is recover. Physically, psychologically, you have to recover, take the fight. First of all, make yourself action ready. Drop what you're holding. Second of all, okay, orientate yourself to the threat or the attack. Third of all, and most importantly, try to either close the distance down so you get into survival mode. So you get into clinch survival mode, and then you can look at fighting. Sorry, Nick.
That's right.
Okay, you get into clinch survival mode, and then that allows you to at least get your senses about you.
Yes.
And then you can decide if you're going to break off, whether you're going to attack. You've got to assess what the variables are. Because sometimes the guy might have a weapon.
Yes, very true.
So he might be punching you or stabbing you even. I mean, sometimes people report being stabbed as feeling like a punch. I've known a few people quite a few people who've been stabbed. And the first thing they say is, I thought I was punched. I thought the guy punched me from behind. Yeah. And then they realise halfway through the attack, they're bleeding.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's when it actually gets a lot worse for them because they're bleeding, and then all of a sudden the adrenaline starts to
panic sets in.
And this is what I mean about mindset. That's generally how I would deal with it in answering the question. I wouldn't essentially go, all guns blazing and start swinging punches, because if I'm unconscious and I'm starting to swing punches and you're swinging punches, then we're really trading. Yeah. That's dangerous, because that punch, as I said, could have been a knife stabbing me, and I didn't realise he'd stabbed me in the back a couple of times, and I start throwing punches thinking he's punching me, but actually he's stabbing me. Then, because quite often stabs, knife attacks can feel like punches.
Well, I've had it happen myself many years ago.
Yeah, you got stabbed.
And I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Just my hand was just bleeding, and I was like, well, that set me off.
Yeah, and it's quite common. It's quite common. I mean, when I had a little nick, and I saw it coming though, so I had that sort of mental, I'm going to get cut, and then it was like, yeah, okay, I got cut. But if you don't see it, people just think, oh, it's just a punch, until they realise. So the takeaway from this is to defend yourself psychologically. Well, to defend yourself from a surprise attack, you have to do it psychologically. You have to get your head in gear, and the only way to do that is to train for it, prepare yourself for it. You can't just talk about it and even practice it. You have to be put in a high stress environment, in a stressful situation where you're fighting with a disability and you're having to come back from a disadvantage. Hopefully that's been of interest. If you do like what we do, we are running some online courses, some online training. Follow the links in the description below. Hopefully you'll join us. You'll come along, and
you'll be more than welcome.
Yeah, have some fun. Thanks for watching, guys.